How's it going, guys? So, I just finished watching a trailer for Dragon Ball The Breakers, and this is the new game from Bandai Namco. And I gotta say, I am pretty impressed with the originality of this game. So, what is it all about? First of all, the name is super weird. I mean, we come off a game called Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, and we pretty much know what that game is all about. So, the past few Dragon Ball games have been, quite frankly, well, fucking amazing. I mean, we've had Dragon Ball Fighters, we've had Xenoverse 2, which just gets update after update, and I've done my review on Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, which I recommend, which is a game that's probably not getting the amount of love it deserves. Some people love it, and some people kind of dislike it. Some people are underwhelmed, but this is a game that's getting a lot of interesting reaction. Now, I see most people seem to be pretty positive and accepting of it. I'm pretty confident that this will end up being a pretty good game. So, if you're a Dragon Ball fan, you're probably already heard of this. The news was released last week. We got the trailer. But what is it all about? Because the trailer is kind of a bit light on facts. I mean, we look at it, we see that there's going to be a character called the Raider, and that role seems to be filled by Cell. And then you have the characters that are the survivors, and they're the ones that are going to be running away from Cell. And this looked pretty cool. It obviously looked like this was taking place in Ginger Town, I would assume. It could be West City. We don't know. We see Oolong. We see Bulma in her Dragon Ball clothing, which is, pretty interesting to say the least, that she was dressed that way. That is a great throwback for anyone who hasn't seen Dragon Ball. It's very underappreciated amongst many fans, so I have to really honor when they do something very Dragon Ballish in the video games. They need to do way more of it as far as I'm concerned. But there seems to be a lot of cool things that you could do in this game, like you could actually use Trunks' time machine. You could travel around and escape from the Raider using a space pod. I mean, that's just fucking awesome. This is stuff that you weren't able to do in any previous Dragon Ball game to date. So there seems to be tons of variety on the horizon. We see Oolong has a fucking bazooka, and we see that's not going to really do too much damage to Cell. And one of the coolest things that I'm also looking forward to is being able to use Oolong's shape-shifting ability. You could actually turn into a vase as shown in the trailer here. This is mostly just to blend into the environment, so we're probably not going to be turning into anybody, just mostly objects. But if you come to the website, you'll get a few more facts on it, so I'll bring that up here for you right now. First of all, this cover art right here is, what was that? It is amazing. Cell here, Frieza, Kid Buu, just amazing. It's great to also see like this HD style Bulma from Dragon Ball, and it's something we haven't seen. Just, and we saw that in Dragon Ball Super, where they kind of remade little scenes during flashbacks and of Dragon Ball, and they look great, so it's great to see it here. And we have these other, like, original characters. I don't know if they're going to have names or not. I would assume that they would. So basically, you will look at the story, and you'll see that there is something called a temporal seam, and these characters are imprisoned in here with the Raider. And you read on through this and you find out that, well, Cell is not the only character in this game. It's going to be also Buu, and we also have Frieza. Now, if you come over here, you'll see they talk about, as a Raider, you will enjoy overwhelming powers to hunt and wipe out survivors. Master each Raider's power to track, catch your victims, to evolve, and get even more powerful. First of all, I don't know how that works for Frieza, because Frieza doesn't do that. he doesn't like consume people, but Boo does, and you know, and Cell. I mean, that's obvious. You know, if you've watched Dragon Ball Z, you know how that basically works. I think that's just so awesome, and I really hope that they do the effect of, like, just their clothing is left if they get sucked up. Like, to tell you the truth, you know, I do want to play from the perspective of the survivors, but I want to be like Cell, and I just want to wreak havoc. That just looks so amazing to me. Also, if we come down here, we see we can customize these characters. So I'm guessing names will be a part of that. We're going to have grappling hooks, vehicles, weapons. So it seems like it's going to be quite the game. This is like kind of like a survival horror of sorts. Because, you know, we think back to the Cell saga. And when Cell is, you know, just devouring everybody, it has a very creepy feel. You know, when Ginger Town is completely wiped out, you know, when Piccolo finds Imperfect Cell and we see, you know, what he's faced with there, it has this creepy feeling. And I think that this game is going to capture that mood, and I'm greatly looking forward to it. Yeah, it's going to be interesting, and we don't even see anything of Boo and Frieza in there. So, like, if you're just watching the trailer and you didn't come over to the website, you probably would not know that. And that's, like, a little bit weird that they wouldn't have that on tap, because it seems like they've got quite a bit of footage here, but nothing, like, on those main characters. Like, you know, I thought they would have kind of waited a little bit so they can show us a little bit more, but it's very exciting, very unique looking game. There's definitely no other Dragon Ball game quite like this, and this is what I talked about when it came to Kakarot. There's so many fighting games. I mean, we have the Budokai games, we have the Tenkaichi games, we have fighters, you know, even Xenoverse, it does have the hub worlds, but it's mostly focused on fighting when you kind of think about it. I mean, you know, most things in that game, you know, it doesn't really have that much exploration in it when you think about it. When you're doing missions, there's not really a lot. You know, there's a lot of movement around the city and landscapes, but not so much in the way of just, you know, generally enjoying the world when you're not in the midst of a battle. And Kakarot brought that to the table. So here, you know, there's obviously this is not an exploration game, but it seems like there's a lot of free movement going on here. And it's definitely going to have that creepy vibe, so it's going to keep you on your toes at the same time. So we're going to have to see how this game turns out, but it's definitely looks very promising. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Click the bell so you get all notifications when I post on my new videos. I want to thank all my patrons for your continued support, and thanks again, guys. I will see you next time.